What's up YouTube, and welcome to the third and final part of this gameplay analysis series where I review the games that I played in the seasonal tournament last weekend, where I finished in second place, managed to win $3,500. Again, I was joined by Alanzq live on stream when doing this, one of the sharpest analytical minds in the game, gave us some great insights, and we'll be discussing the plays, discussing the strategy and everything else. If you haven't seen the first two parts yet, I'll link it somewhere up here. We discuss our lineup strategy and the pick ban and everything. And that will also explain how we ended up at this point so far. In the first series, we managed to take down Ucham Protein, 2-0. In the second series, in the last video, Martin Pio, we managed to get by with a 2-1 victory. And in this third one, we are facing John. This is also going to be the last video that was not shown on the mainstream, basically. Therefore, I was doing this analysis. If you want to find the semifinals and grand finals footage, I'll link you guys the official broadcast of this tournament as well, somewhere up here. You can find the rest of the games and the tournament run. But without further ado, let's jump into the analysis.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Here it is. I'm up against Jan. I see this lineup and I'm super happy. Like, all of my decks beat all of my opponent's decks, except for maybe Lulu might lose to Plunder, but it's probably close to even. I did tag in one Ranger's Resolve. Does make this much better. So pretty obvious that I ban Akshan Demacia, and I do think... I'm actually not 100% sure which ban is better for my opponent. It's probably still Sivir Demacia, but they all ended up banning Lulu Z.
I don't know, again, people are just not aware of the matchups, probably.
Yeah, probably. Right,
I'm
super happy with
about
this.
the match. The thing is, I think he should just suck up the lose with the... because obviously his deep just loses to the Lulu Z, but you have to just suck it up, and you have to go for the win with the deep against Sivir Demacia. No, for the win with deep against Lee.
Lee, you mean, yeah. It is a rough game, but like lineup-wise, I'm super favored anyway. That Lulu Z covers the matchups that Lee is bad against, and Lee covers the matchups that Lulu Z is bad against, right? Lulu Z loses to stuff like Asdraven TF Swain, which Lee crushes, and Lee loses to stuff like DrrWaryA TK and so on, which Lulu Z crushes. So ideally, you're never hard unfavored. And for me, it was also, again, it was mainly like a scouting type of thing. I thought that a lot of my opponent's lineups would be weak to Lulu Z. I didn't really expect or see a lot of that Noxus type of removal. And it did pay off, but it's always a gamble. I'm not sure if I can recommend it generally. Okay, I get a sick start here again. But yeah, plays are pretty straightforward. The only thing that I'm considering is Pale Cascading here, removing the crack shot already. The downside is I only have 3 mana next turn, so I can't go this into Crescendum and get double Dragon Links for my opponent's next attack, which I thought was more valuable, and therefore I just took it.
Yep.
Hyrika would be annoying if I didn't have Retreat. Retreat is sick here. This is the only one I'm not 100% sure on. I felt like this was a good window to drop Lee. I have the second one in hand. The issue is make it Rain plus Harpoon. And like, if my opponent holds both of these cards, there's a 50% chance they kill Lee. And I mean, the only protective barrier I have is using the second Lee. So it is a bit of a risk. But the
Are you unhappy if he plays on stack them?
Yeah, well, he would have to play like either Warning Shot into Harpoon, Make It Rain or whatever, that works, or now
he
6
can't
mana
play
Harpoon.
Harpoon with Warning Shot. He needs to 6 mana it. You run Nopify, right?
Yeah, 1 Nopify though. Yeah, okay, I suppose he would have to have double Harpoon. But yeah, if he 6 manas Harpoon, and then I have to play Lee Sin Hero spell plus the thing, and then he plays Make It Rain, there's a 50-50 chance I lose both Lees, basically. But the upside of developing Lee this turn already, I thought was pretty big.
I mean, no, not necessarily. Hold up. If he has Make It Rain plus Harpoon, right? You just spell Cascade.
And then if Make It Rain hits Lee, how do I get the second trigger to get Barrier?
I mean, you have second Lee. You just don't care.
Oh, that's what you mean. That's a good point.
Like, he needs to hit with Make It Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Just make him hit.
Yeah, that's actually fair. But another thing I did notice, and I'm not sure if Lee development is correct, is because I'm missing the double Dragon Links while my opponent is swinging at me with a big board next turn.
Yeah, that's the bigger issue. That's why I think Deep Med was here an autoplay. But again, if you are going for the Lee play, you are committed to play the second Lee always. Like, that's why I think you are playing. That's what I thought you are playing a Lee here, because you want to jump the Sonic Wave.
I am also.
Otherwise,
I am doing this, and I'm not pulling with Lee because of Monster Harpoon.
I mean, you see what your opponent does first. Here, obviously, right? Opponent should be passing here every time.
I think he did. But yeah, in hindsight, I also thought Deep Med might be the better line overall. It slows down the Lee development, but it does give me like more consistency and less risks. So Parley, and I'm in a bit of a pickle of like, if I pale this thing, I'm open to Harpoon. I end up letting this go through, I'm pretty sure. And just go with what I originally wanted to do here. I felt like this pass was fine, like the little pass before swinging, but I'm not 100% on it, because as of right now, I'm not getting Dragon Links. So maybe it's better to not pass here, but just proactively already use Sonic Wave. My idea
I think this is fine.
Okay, yeah, it shuts down Gangplank development, basically.
I mean, so it depends. It comes down to your hand. Like, if you didn't have paper next turn, what happens? What's the worst case scenario if he passes back next turn? What can happen?
Oh, I don't have Dragon Links. He plays like Gangplank or Sejuani and the 1-drop and swings for a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, you just palm. You have a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't swing. You have on top of that you have a Pale to protect your Lee if he tries to swing on Lee. Like, nothing bad happens for you. Your Eye of the Dragon can block the 1 and 2 damage you need. Like, literally, you are taking almost no damage.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario for you.
Yeah, with palm in hand, that's actually a good point.
Like, but you have to make the next turn play based on your current hand, right?
Mm-hmm. Thinking for a second, but I think the crack shot's usually the better pull. Now that I do get Dragon Links. So again,
there's no reason to pull anything else.
Yeah, Harpoon is discounted. There's no way I'm swinging with Lee.
Yeah, of course.
Seeing this goes through, I'll skip forward a bit. And opponent Bob Sejuani hits the eye. And interestingly enough, like, I take the pass. Also pulls the eye with Sejuani, which I'm not... I get. I'm not sure if I like it though. Because otherwise, like, Twin Disciplines on Lee is an issue for my opponent, right?
I mean, opponent obviously going with this play, he's going into the line where he wants to win, he wants to stall out as well. Like, at this point, I would be pretty sure that opponent has like sort of DrrWaryA, has more Sejuani enablers for future, and like this play tells you that opponent is prepared to go for a late game with this play.
Yeah, and we see Warning Shot Harpoon, and we had this like Cascade always as a backup. Everything plans out perfectly, Lee levels, and we get Dragon Links again. Bulky, thank you for the
I'm
raid.
not sure about the palm there. I mean, it forces to Warning Shot, which is nice.
Were you considering giving up the Dragon Link?
Yeah, die, and to Deep Med last turn. But you don't need the extra HP on the Lee. Like 2 HP and 6 HP doesn't matter.
Yeah, most cases it doesn't.
I like forcing opponent to warning shot because warning shot are very valuable as
Exactly.
in this matchup.
Yeah, I didn't want to give a free plunder trigger. Like my opponent that was just the fourth, I suppose, looking at this.
Killing the crack shot was very important last turn.
Yeah.
Without killing crack shot, it would be way worse spot.
Agreed. Hard luck on missing first place. I can't complain. Been running pretty decently. Pretty well for most of this tournament.
You're gonna be watching today?
Probably not. Like my brain is about fried. Like after playing the whole thing and now analyzing. Yeah. Is it about starting already?
It's soon TM check-in.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is also the last set that was off stream, if I recall correctly. And Bastion is sick here. My opponent did run 1-3 Sisters, if I recall correctly. I need to double check, but... Like, right now I have two ways of dealing with Sejuani and Will and Hush.
Like, I'm thinking about his line. I really hated that he played that set so early. I think I would have tried to... Like, I assume he had no way of tricking proccing Plunder. But the early Sedge, without having at least 2 or 3 Sedge in hand, doesn't feel like a correct play.
Okay. Wait, was this just drawn? Where did that come from? Let's see. That was the leftmost, yeah. That was just top decked.
Yeah. What did he ban?
Lulu Z. Everyone except for Grand Finals banned Lulu Z. And I think twice it was a mistake, if I recall correctly. John Allen on Discord during his watch party while chilling. I would, Larry, but I'm probably meeting up with friends later. Or like going out partying, whatever.
Good call to rest, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like we have 3 days basically the new set because you'll be playing probably early access as well, right?
Exact. Wait, no, that's actually just League Partner program, and Germany didn't get League Partner in forever.
Wait, really?
Yeah. But like the grind begins early nonetheless.
I mean, it's not like Poland. Oh wait, Poland does have one?
Yeah, but back to the game. Like, I think the rest was pretty straightforward. So Sejuani gets willed. It's because it's like then I get an open attack.
You have lethal next turn.
Yeah, like I said, my opponent plays 1 flash freeze 3 Sisters, but with Bastion, it's guaranteed. Checkmate, GG, boom. And now I can play the broken deck again. I'm happy. Okay, against Deep first. That was actually an interesting game.
You have like 2 rallies, so this should be freebie for you.
So opponent hand looks decent. Let's skip. I'll skim through this a bit faster. Playing a bit faster, slow here because I'm writing down every toss on a piece of paper because the deck tracker doesn't assess this correctly, and you often can't look through the combat log anymore because it's a bit buggy. Like it doesn't show.
Yeah, with the toss. Yeah.
First lure, almost tossed. And this is where I want to cry. Like no Singer, no Cataclysm, no Merciless. I did mulligan away Concerted, I suppose.
So you know at least he has no second lure in hand.
Yet.
Like you are thinking about playing 5-2?
Yeah, there's a couple of options. Yeah, 5-2. Like I can only swing with Sivir here. I can only swing with Sivir and 5-2.
I mean, you have to think about the next 2 turns in terms of if you play 5-2 here. Because again, you remember you have the like keeping 2 mana is always nice because it bluffs the single combat. Even if in the future you can like if you top deck Ruin Runner, it's worth to keep mana because then in 2 turns you can upkeep the mana for the Protector plus Sharp Side. So there is a lot of merit into just keeping your mana open. Also, if you keep mana here open, what you gonna do next turn? Like let's say opponent develops, and what do? Pass? next turn.
Yeah, my hand's a bit scuffed next turn. Right
And
now,
if you play here the Waking Sense, like your next isn't that bad if you pass, right?
Yeah, I suppose. But here's
so
also
break-
the thing: like, if I full swing here, right? I'm very likely to get sharp side value. The only question is like, do I want to do that, or do I hope to find like Cataclysm or Singles soon and get rid of the Scarab and then swing? Because right now I'm helping my opponent toss a lot. I thought this very hard to like navigate and play with the hand I
mean,
had.
again, I think it's based on the next turn. Like of all, like, cause just like straight up, opponent plays next turn. Let's say an eye, and he doesn't, and he'll pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think opponent gonna swing? No, he's just gonna pass. You make you waste 5 mana, and therefore, like this turn, you take a swing with the 3/3 and 5/3, right?
I think I full
Opponent
swung
blocks.
even.
I mean, if you play
But it's-
5/2.
Oh, yeah.
So you attack with those. Opponent is blocking with 3/2 your 3/3, and he's blocking with 2/1 the Sivir, most likely, right? To toss.
Yeah.
So how many cards is he going DP? Is he deep next turn?
It's 23 right now, I think. So 23 cards in deck right now. So if I recall correctly, this puts him to 19. Or like 20 at this point, and like after the draw 19. I don't quite remember. I'm pretty sure I'm clicking on it soon. So I was pretty happy to see Jettison and Devourer and Bone Skewer. Like there's one Bone Skewer left, there's 2 Devourers left. 1 or 2 Jettisons at this point. My opponent tossed a lot of key cards, which made playing this matchup a bit easier, but my draws were also meh.
Yeah, but there is one problem with sharp side. You just wasted a card that's extremely good for the matchup against the elusive eye. And and it's like if opponent get it, you have to. What are you wasting? Concerted?
Yeah, that's a good point. Opponent did only play 2 eyes, I should mention, but it still holds true.
Oh, no way you pass here, right? You just protector, right?
Like with a triple Sivir in hand, I kind of like the pass.
Oh yeah. You want Sivir to die here.
Yeah, and this is another
that's
turn where
interesting.
it's like I have no clue what to do. Because I remember now my opponent is at 19, I'm almost certain. I remember that if I swing, I help him get deep, it's really scuffed.
I'm really surprised he didn't take the swing last turn to go deep this turn. So if he didn't take a swing, like he would be deep now, right? If he took a swing.
He'd be 2 cards off, if I recall correctly. So then the
I
spider
mean, this
link
should give you a lot of info. Like he would be actually at 15 now, right? Because each scarab gives you 2.
No, I mean, he's at
1.
19 cards in deck now, I think. Oh, you mean if he swings with both?
With 4/1. With 4/1.
Okay, only the 4/1. Yeah, then he wouldn't be at
does
17
scarab toss
now.
you? So scarab only toss 1 card, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't play often against deep. I don't remember actually without checking it.
I mean, it's also just Kurva deep. You can't know all the mechanics.
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually ended up high rolling this Ricochet. It's pretty clean. My opponent's still 1 card off, and I think that was the
Damn.
3rd Jettison tossed, if I recall correctly.
Well,
which-
unlucky order though.
Yeah, well, can't complain. Definitely a decent outcome.
I mean, I would put him at the Naut at this point. Like based on how he plays very slowly. I would put him on heavy hand.
Yeah,
Maybe Bone Skewer.
Yeah, I
Wait,
agree.
he had it. He had it for long. He had it from the right side. Interesting.
That's actually true. The rightmost card didn't go for the tempo, like 0/0 mana.
Yeah.
Garib. Okay, pop spell shields. I don't really mind.
So this should tell you he has the Bone Skewer, right?
Yeah, there's just 1 Bone Skewer left in deck. Either Bone Skewer or more Devourers, right? My
I
opponent...
mean, he has one Devourer left as well only.
Exactly. But also a randomly generated Jaw card. So 20% for another Devourer.
Oh, could be fading. Okay, could be fading. He just, like, how many
Yeah.
fadings does he run?
2. One was tossed, right? Could also be fading, so... True, there's definitely access to more Devourers. But I still have the third Sivir in hand. At this point, I don't care yet. So he plays another Jaw. But of course, sea monsters are already double discounted. I find the Aegis, which is an interesting card. If I play Aegis, I keep Concerted Strike mana. So I do end up playing Aegis here. That was a Jaw generated one, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, but the problem now, you get that not really the best swing.
Yeah.
You can't really swing even.
The thing is, I still have the last Sivir in hand, right? And I think I'd rather play Sivir with Spell Shield than Ricochet, so I ended up taking the swing, but I'm not sure if this is good, to be honest, because it also costs me a lot of mana, a lot of tempo. And next turn I get that thingy flipped. Like I get an extra draw and maybe I want to develop Rune Runner, but either way it looks rough at this point. My opponent having had such a high statted board. Decide to go for the Sivir replay.
I mean, no.
Wasn't quite sure what to open with, but I know I'm on a clock. My opponent's down to like 10 cards in deck. They're eventually gonna draw an out and then it's pretty much game over.
I would assume they have an out at this point, the way the game played out.
I think they never had it.
If he doesn't...
I think the cards they were holding on to for a long time was Fading Memories and I don't remember the other one. So they found the third Devourer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's another one. So it
I go for
be like
this.
Bone Skewer at this point.
And yeah, the one of Fading,
I like it.
Devourer spam.
Oh, this is like game over probably, right?
Yeah.
Just concede here.
I
mean, you just play out and
yeah.
Next.
I just skipped through this. So my opponent plays Terror. It's almost GG. I do see the line here was surviving with a Shapestone Single. And I am drawing 2 cards next turn, but like super unlikely I punch through this. Bone Skewer. GG. And yeah, you were right. They were holding Bone Skewer for a while as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit unfortunate on the draw, but
yeah,
does happen. Last matchup that's left is still a favorite one, so I don't really mind. Again, a tricky mulligan. Like generally you want to go under. Like Relentless Pursuit is good because you want to outrace them before they get Sejuani leveled and stunlock the board. But like the better one drop here I think would be Treasure Seeker. I think this one played... I'd need to double check. I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2 parleys. And I'd also prefer Akshan.
I don't think you play Tracker turn 1. Like you keep it up, but you don't play turn 1. You just you throw away Pursue and you keep rest.
I'm not a huge fan on keeping Protector in this matchup, to be honest.
I mean, you have turn 3 play. You have Protector. You have Tracker into Protector.
Yeah. True,
I mean,
but is that the turn 3 play I really want? Yeah, it's actually fine.
For this matchup, you get rid of their 1-2.
Yeah, I usually mulligan
They
pretty
can't really
hard.
make it rain.
Yeah, I do mulligan pretty hard for Merciless, Sivir, and Rune Runner in this. Because Merciless Fearsome is just insane. Rune Runner with Cataclysms and Rallies is insane.
Alright, so think about turn 3. Let's assume opponent has the, I don't know, Butcher and 1-2. And you go for the, you have to play Rune Runner and go for the kill on 1-2, right? So would you rather play Merciless Hunter on that unit, or would you rather challenge it with the Tracker, with the barrier?
Yeah, that I agree on. But if we play Merciless, we have spam mana. But yeah, it's actually a fair point. I could have kept this.
Like, I know what drove you by Mulligan in a way. You were afraid of turn 1 parley, you were afraid of turn 2 make it rain, but you don't have to play tracker on turn 1 or turn 2. You can play turn 3 with blanked 3 mana, and opponent like, do I make it rain against Shapestone? Like, or Sharp Side? There is a lot of things that can go wrong. Single combat? Like, there is a reason he didn't play, like, and the opponent has to be like, okay, there is a reason he didn't play in turn 1.
That's a good point. Well, I always open pass this though. Like, even if I have Treasure Seeker, if I know they, especially if they play 2 parleys, if they play 1 or 0, of course, I can develop. But yeah, 6 1-drops, 7 2-drops. What I often do here is... I don't think
you develop turn 1, because in turn 2, their best play, if they don't run even parleys, that turn 2 they just go make it rain into Butcher. And if they open play Butcher, then you play Tracker. And then if they try to make it rain, they could be fucked by Shapestone.
That's a good point, but if I open pass, I think they will play Butcher on 1 most of the time at open attack.
If they have make it rain?
I think so, because otherwise, like, if they bank mana, I can develop Honored Lord, Brightsteel Protector, or Akshan on turn 2.
You just mentioned how fearsome is important for this matchup.
Yeah,
and that's why true. You don't. If you have certain hand, you don't have to go for Butcher on turn 1, unless it's obviously warning shot into Butcher.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I just think very few people would do that. Like, from my experience playing this matchup, and I've played it quite a lot, most people don't value how good fearsome blockers are, how necessary they are.
I mean, but you don't have to raise this deck. You can just outstall the deck with the Sedge. That's the issue. People play the matchup too fast, and they lose because they lose value, and they lose the entire board to tempo.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I can see keeping Tracker plus Protector. Most of the time, I prefer having Treasure Seeker as the 1-drop, and I also don't necessarily want to multi-draw 1-drops in this, but it's like one of the reasons why I kicked them. But I get your point. Here we go, pass. And opponent butchers on 1.
Cards, I think.
Yo, thanks for the sub, Master Cookies. Okay. And shitty hand alert.
I mean, it's not bad.
But, yeah, like, I think that this game was a good example of like turning shit into gold, basically.
Open pass is very good as well. Yeah.
Opponent, like, we bluff Merciless here. Our opponent plays triple Monkey Idol. That's why like these passes are super duper good.
I like Sharp Side, more mana efficient.
Also makes like second Maker or Parley or something very scuffed for them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he ever uses this turn. Like, because he wants to plunder on different turns.
Here's the Butcher. Not the easiest decision. If I had Merciless, I would be more inclined to single combat. The other line is Shaped Stone on the bird, single combat the 2/2. Basically block 2 of those. The third line is just pass.
I mean, okay, I think that's pretty straight up play, because, like, what's his best turn for play? Either
Grifter.
Zap or Grifter.
Yeah.
Against both of these, you just want to play Sivir and block with the Sharp Side or Shaped Stone.
Yeah, I agree.
So you never waste anything here.
Yeah, and that's what I ended up doing.
Oh, showing a spell is not too optimal.
Yeah. I was almost locked in, and then like I realized in the last second, wait, this doesn't make sense. And boom, single combat is nuts. My opponent's very low on triggers at this point. I think that was the second one.
I mean, you just hovered it and like you just played the monkey into it.
Yeah. This
Maybe
has to be.
He thought you are bluffing. Maybe he thought you are bluffing the the single combat with the.
But Cataclysm is fine as well, right? Those are the only 2 I can put on the stack.
Yeah, but he assumed that he can protect his monkey because against Cataclysm because you don't have mana.
Wait, this turn I always have 3. Not quite sure if I can follow.
So I'm talking about last turn. He thought that you might have been bluffing the single combat.
But with what?
By hovering. By hovering the spell.
Okay, but I can only hover a single combat or Cataclysm here, that's my point. With 3 mana.
Yeah. And he maybe assumed that if it's Cataclysm, he can protect his monkey.
Oh, I see. But how do you protect it besides? Like, single combat and Cataclysm get protected the same way, right?
No, because you don't have mana for Shaped Stone. If he Absolver.
Okay, yeah, now I see what you mean, yeah. And then, yeah, okay. Good point.
And your Sivir goes to 1 HP then.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, this is a sick turn. That's probably game over turn even.
Opponent's still at 2 plunder triggers at this point.
I don't think you open pass here with this hand. I think you just take the open swing. Like, you can't play the 1-drop here ever because of the make it rain value.
Absolutely. And also, like, now I have perfect concerted mana in case my opponent drops, idle or...
Ooh, I don't like this block, I think. Oh, actually, he has monkey. So this block tells you he has a lot of units, right? I like the concerted.
Yeah,
here.
most
That would be
likely.
good.
Yeah, that's actually true, yeah. Should have a lot of units.
Like, because why would you block this ever? Like, this deck has a problem with the... he knows that you have probably lackluster of units, and he wanted to just keep jamming the board, and he'll have blockers for future. So he wanted just to preserve the HP here, and...
I agree that would be the logical thing, but it looked like my opponent barely had units, to be honest, like, for the rest of this game. Like, they played Monkey Idol and no other unit follow-up, then... like Gangplank. So I don't quite agree with the block on their side neither.
Yeah, considering the hand. I mean, he was worried about dying to Ruin Runner, I think. Because if he goes to 9, he can just die to Ruin Runner.
True, that's a good point. This turn was interesting. Sivir is at 24 out of 30. And I have 2 options here. I realize my opponent's low on plunder triggers and very far from flipping Sejuani, which means as long as I keep it that way, I get a lot more time to find value. 2 options here.
If you concert it here, he gets the plunder proc.
Exactly.
So he needs to play to 1.
One line is pre-commit Shaped Stone, concerted the Gangplank, and Sivir is 6-4. The other line is play Treasure Seeker, opponent swings. I jump block the 3/3 with Treasure Seeker and concerted Gangplank. It's a guaranteed kill. So the question is basically, do I want to throw away Shaped Stone and have a 6-4 Sivir? Or do I want to play Treasure Seeker, keep the Shaped Stone, but it's a 3-1 Butcher? I thought that decision was pretty hard. I'm not sure if I'm still not sure which one I like more.
Could have second GP and Parley here. But again, do you throw away GP? Like, are you unhappy if opponent throws away GP?
Exactly. If I play Treasure Seeker, they play Parley, I play Concerted, I'm very happy with the state of the game.
Play the 1, make it rain. Yeah, I think, I don't know about the shape. I think I like Concerted line a bit more.
So you mean play Treasure Seeker then Concerted?
Like, let him swing. Like, what's the worst that can happen? He can make it rain, and then you still level up.
Okay, so you mean pass here, let him swing,
Play the Treasure Seeker, and play Concerted. The alternative play is to let him attack, and you then Shaped Stone and Concerted. And you get open swing next turn. Next turn you don't have to even open swing, because you could play the Treasure Seeker into summon 5/2, and and you could actually have Lethal next turn.
Exactly.
If you go for the Shaped here.
That's why I'm saying maybe pass would have been good, or pre-commit Shaped right away, but then my opponent doesn't swing. Like the upside of passing, my opponent's likely swinging, even though I have 6 mana open. The upside
you
is
are not unhappy to keep the. You are not unhappy if he passed because you'd rather have concerted for Sej.
Yeah.
Takes a pass, you're like, yeah, sure.
That's actually
pass.
true.
Like,
yeah, in hindsight, I think I like pass the most, and if my opponent swings with both, then I put Sivir in front of the 3/3, Shaped Stone, Concerted, and I take out both units. But yeah, you did mention before that the downside is that I am vulnerable to like Make It Rain plus Parley or double Make It Rain type of things. Because then Sivir is at 1 HP. I do have Sharp Side, I suppose. Yeah, that probably would have been the best play though. This way is also fine, like
come on, if your opponent has those 2 cards, he's at 1 card left.
True.
Like, what he's gonna do with 1 card?
So only if it's DrrWaryA it matters.
DrrWaryA can't even play next turn.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is also a decent outcome. I guess then if my opponent has Harpoon, I can protect Sivir after Spell Shield's popped. But
the problem with this one is just it's like you're losing value. And at this point, it's coming down to value, right?
Yeah.
You'd rather have a 2/1 than the Shape Stone in hand.
Yeah. And so far, like, my draw has been subpar, I felt like, but now I'm starting to draw. Like,
I mean, Make It Rain into Harpoon would be a really Sej here.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, if he'd Make It Rain, he would have played it last turn. Get a premium Make It Rain.
Agreed.
Before attacking.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Like, I think Summon is good. The question is, do we pull Keg or not? Wait, I skip forward, I summon, opponent passes.
Okay, hold up. But what do you put your opponent on if he plays the Butcher here first?
And
he passes after you summon. Double Harpoon?
That's actually a really good question.
Warning Shot main deck? Warning Shot main deck?
Could be Warning Shots. 3 Sisters? Maybe?
He doesn't run 3 Sisters, he said.
Oh, okay. Is Jan in chat? Oh, I see.
He was before.
Okay.
I mean, maybe Harpoon double Warning Shot. That Butcher was top deck.
Yeah. Something along those lines. And it could be another Gangplank, right? And playing him pre-combat.
No, if he had Warning Shot, he would have played it before you pull the Keg. And he would have to proc Butcher as well.
True.
Could be DrrWaryA, honestly. DrrWaryA, Harpoon, double DrrWaryA. Definitely not GP.
But why does it matter? Why does it matter to get the Butcher to 3/3? I guess he needs the Plunder trigger anyways. Yeah. That might make sense.
That's one thing, and it gives him more power to attack next turn, and it blocks more damage potentially if he needs to block with the Butcher.
True. So DrrWaryA is likely. I agree on that one. And
DrrWaryA, GP.
Sejuani is rather unlikely. Yeah. GP is possible. Harpoon.
Those are the cards I would put him on. Harpoon, DrrWaryA, GP. Could be another low drop that he doesn't want to block with.
Yeah. Now the question is here is, do we pull the Keg or do we leave the Keg for a later swing? Because then on my next swing, I can get another guaranteed 5 Ruin Runner damage.
What he's gonna block with the Ruin Runner?
Probably nothing. Maybe the 3/1.
So he's most likely to play DrrWaryA next turn, right? So yeah, if you expect DrrWaryA next turn to come down, then leaving the Keg is definitely a viable line.
Exactly.
Because it gives you open swing.
Yeah. Kind of my thought process. It ended up getting punished by exactly what my opponent had, but it wasn't too bad. I like leaving the Keg because it looked like, just like you said, I expected them to not have Make It Rain. I guess Warning Shot could be a thing, but this turn it would have probably been played. We didn't see Grifter. Grifter would have been played as a blocker most likely. And it got slightly punished by... Yeah, slightly punished by Gangplank into DrrWaryA. Even though I'm... Yeah, no, it actually makes sense.
He has the GP made a lot of sense. And DrrWaryA made a lot of sense based on how the game played out, right?
Yeah, so in hindsight, I probably should have pulled the Keg just the way my opponent played, yeah. But
how the Keg punished you? Did he have Make It Rain here?
No. it's only like
Oh, he went
a slightly
face.
worse play because of yeah.
I mean, you pushed 1 more damage this way, and he pushed 2 damage. So was it war?
Oh, that's
Was
actually
it
a
bad
good
for you?
point. Yeah. I didn't consider it that way, but this is just GG because I can buff this to 7, and there's nothing my opponent can do. So we buff this to 7 HP. That thing hits for 6. No yoinks in my opponent's hand. And we are just about guaranteed open attack lethal. Yeah, that was the series.